Hello everyone, my name is Tiffany. I'm the Tipsy Artist. Today we're going to be doing a really cool project. It's one of my favorites. I've been doing vision boards for more than 20 years. And this is an example of mine. We have a really cool kit that we put together to create these to make it very easy for y'all. And so this is what's called a vision board. It's a really great tool to manifest your dreams, make all of your goals come true. And I can assure you from personal experience that it really does work. I've done some great programs in the past and been led through some wonderful guided experiences. And I have been amazed by how so many of my visions have come true, and even better than what I had even imagined, but definitely to the number with financial goals and different things like that. So it's a really neat process. So again, this is an example of one that I just did yesterday. I do these with all kinds of different groups, corporate groups, organizations are great for manifesting company goals, but also just personal too. So for your personal, like New Year's Eve resolutions, things like that with your family. We've been doing these with my family for a really long time. So I highly recommend it. I just sent out kits to all my kids and at college, and they're going to be doing them with their roommates. So I just feel like it's a super powerful tool to have as they start their life. But here's an example. Let me also talk to you about some of the stuff that comes with it. So I always have some guided questions. I know this is like a lot of text, but these are really great questions. Again, I've seen a lot of questions that because I've been doing this for so long, some questions just leave people with, they're almost overwhelming and leave people with a blank. And these are questions that I have found are very, it's almost like a backdoor into the mind. They're very comfortable. They let you use your imagination and you feel very comfortable with the experience. And so you tend to just relax and really disclose a lot. And so these are very effective questions that my kids have loved and that they've been very open with me about. So these have been really great. So overall, the 20 years of finding questions, trying them out, these are the best. So that's what I provided in the kit for y'all. And then I also have some like prime your day tips, 10 minutes of meditation, how to get started for the day, and then also just helpful hints for creating manifestation. That's included in there too. It just basically gives you lots of tools. For example, the brain loves present tense, I am or I earn, and then actual numbers. So things that I've learned and picked up over the years, I've included those with the helpful hints. So that's also awesome. Now, the other thing that I did was I spent hours putting this all together, by the way. You're welcome. So it's just pages and pages of all kinds of iconic imagery to symbolize many different career paths, many different desirable goals. So something else that I noticed whenever I was doing vision boards in the past was that it took me hours to go around and find all the imagery I needed. And I usually got so worn out with the process that I would abandon the project. So, or I just would never get finished. So it ended up being this half finished vision board in a drawer that never got done. So what I've done here is I've got all kinds of fun, positive sayings. And by the way, I'm going to have this available in a digital format, very affordable, super cheap. And so if you just want the digital pack, everything I've shown here, you can just do that. Like if you have all of your own other tool, like your paper and paints and brushes and all that stuff. If you already have all that, you don't want to buy that, you don't have to worry about buying the whole kit. It does make a really cool gift for somebody to send. But if you just need this stuff, we're going to have a digital pack with this too. So it's really neat. So again, it's got, like different kinds of cars. There's like an SUV, a regular car, a sports car. But again, it's just that visual icon to represent that. And there's things for health and well-being and spirituality and being a winner and, you know, having wealth, basically, I'm healthy, wealthy, and wise, all of those basic, very strong, powerful, iconic images are included in this. So we've got lots of examples of that here. And so this is going to become very helpful for you to use, travel or, farm life or boating, filming. I mean, there's just all kinds of cool stuff in here. So again, I put a lot of time into this so that it would help you. And so voila, there it is. All right. So now what we're going to do is we're going to start to talk about the creative process with doing this. So as I keep making these, I'm going to try to make them in such a way to where they are visually creative too. And I want to do some different, I'll have some that will be like maybe example, a tree on here. So you have one big, strong, iconic shape in the design. And then you can have, the different elements around the tree that will be included in the kit, or you can do something that's very kind of Matisse inspired, or it can just be incredibly random like this too. So again, just, feel free to be creative in your own way, but we will also have some design elements in the digital kit, and then also the actual tangible kit that can be mailed to you that will give you some good design inspiration as well as you go ahead and do this. All right, we're going to shift camera views now to down here. All right, so like a bird's eye view. Hold on, I need these. Where am I? Here we go. All right, voila. Okay, so I'm going to move this guy over here. So other things that we've got our canvas surface that comes with the kit, markers, paint, brushes, washi tape, this is just for fun, little party. Isn't that fun? Yay! All right, and then napkin, little mixing plate for your paints. We also always include some little fun, colorful stickers, so you can be creative that way. We also always include papers, and you can kind of rip these up and use these with your collage, and then a glue stick. So all that's in there. Oh, and scissors. Scissors are always in there. I do not know why I don't have mine with me. Oh, that is a bummer. Oh my goodness. Huh. I need to call my husband and go, help me, I need my scissors. I know why I don't have them, because I went over there and took pictures. I was doing like a little photo shoot with it. Oh well, you know what? Oh, I've got some scissors over here. Hold on. These are not the scissors that come in the kit, but close enough. Looks like it. Are you kidding me? Really? Out of all my stuff over here, you tell me I don't have a pair of scissors. And I do. I'm so proud of myself. Just bumped my camera with my head. All right, let's fix that. Okay, cool. All right, so got a pair of scissors now. Okay, so I'm going to put these off to the side. And then I'm going to show you some ways in which you can be creative a different way. So we've got some transfer paper so that you can transfer an image. So anything that's on this sheet, for example, can just be transferred directly to the canvas surface area. And just like I did here, I found a puppy dog on this sheet here, and I used transfer paper that comes with the kit, and I just transferred it on, and then I painted it directly on the canvas. Or you can just be kind of, fast and easy and just literally cut these guys out and then glue them directly to the surface area, which honestly a lot of people do. So the other way is like definitely overachiever. So I'm going to go ahead and do like a little tree here. Just to give it a little bit of some design elements to kind of make it a little bit organized. Sometimes the eye doesn't like so much chaos, and so it helps to have a little bit more of like a strong iconic design in here too. So, all right, so I'm going to go ahead and work that in. And again, don't feel overwhelmed by this, because we will even have like a traceable for this little tree here too. And then if you want some of those Matisse designs, you can certainly add those into. I'm going to do a few little references to that. Those are really easy to do. And then some little leaves. All right, so we've got a basic shape in here, which makes it visually very pretty. And then we can also paint in to some of this as well. So I've got some paints nearby, got some cute little brushes nearby. So I do have some extra water. I'm going to dip into that. And let's go ahead and mix up a little bit of green here with a little bit of white. And a little bit of caution with the paint. It is acrylic paint. It does set up and dry very, very quickly. So anytime you're not using your brush, go ahead and place it in your water just in case, because if you get distracted with something and you leave it out with paint on it, it will just dry up the brush and ruin the brush. So you do want to preserve and protect your brushes that way. So we're just going to paint in some of these cute little shapes here. We're creating kind of like a fun tree of life with our design. So this is definitely very positive with the symbolism. And I feel like it stabilizes the eye too, so that the whole entire vision board is not too chaotic. So it just depends. Some people can handle all that chaos, some people cannot. So I feel like this helps a little bit. And you can use your markers too. We have the markers that come with the set, so you can use that. But I feel like the paint really kind of elevates it quite a bit. That's a nice touch. Rinse out here and then dry off. Ideally, you should just rinse and dry off your brush every time. But I always tell people to go ahead and leave it in the water just in case, because sometimes we get a quick phone call or something and we don't get to it. So that way it's always safe. I'm going to add a little bit of black. By the way, I call this little brush Little Buddy. So I've got black and white here. And I'm just going to make the trunk of my tree just a nice soft gray, or you could do black too, which is really pretty. We'll paint all of this in. Just doing a real basic pencil hold here. Both of these brushes, the hold on them to do every stroke is very simple for the most part. You just hold it like a pencil and you get pretty good coverage here with this. If you do struggle with any transparency, you want to hold that brush more over to the side, parallel to the canvas. That'll help work in that paint into the area with a more opaque finish. And then I'm going to give a little bit more impact to the little curly branch here. I won't go all the way to the edge. I'm going to come back in with this tinier brush for that. And then let's work this other side. And your trees can certainly be a little bit bumpy and imperfect. All natural trees are. I'm making mine a bit more stylized. Always start from the center of the tree, add more thickness in the center, and then as it comes out and away from the tree, then it becomes a little bit thinner. All right, so that's a pretty good base. I'm going to go ahead and rinse out here. Now let's go back in with our little bit. We're going to do a little twirl now into that black paint. That will load up the brush and then twist it into a nice fine point. And then we will kind of work out that little curl with this really tiny little brush that I like to lovingly call Little Bit. And then over to the other side, just adding a little bit of symmetry over here. A little bit of water to help that paint. See how it's kind of getting a dry brush look? So I added a little bit of water so that it helps make that a bit more fluid and easier to work into the surface area. All right. Oops, that's not my, I wanted to go into that, my water. Saved it. All right, so these are some of the Matisse elements that we have that are fun to use. So I'm going to come back in with a little bit here. They're very curvy, so a little bit's going to be the easier brush to use. And you know what? I'm going to add a little bit of white to my red as well to give it kind of a hot pink look. These are also very easy to freehand too. Right, way to go. I'm going to do this side in like a pretty gold. I'm going to add a little bit of white to that too. And acrylic paint does set up and dry very quickly. I would say 5 minutes is typical. But of course, if you want to speed up the process, depends on how heavy of a hand you have. Sometimes it can take up to 15 minutes, depending on the thickness of the coat, but you can also use a hair dryer nearby and help speed up your drying time. All right, so that's a fun look. Let's go ahead and rinse out. So this gives you a great idea of what it's like to have some of those painted elements into the design of your vision board. Now we've got some fun little stickers here. So I'm going to go ahead and place these down. This one says, you can do this. And you can. Okay, so we'll put that right there. So that's easy. And I accidentally picked up some paint. So if that happens, you can either just leave it and work in something else over the top, or I'm going to take a little bit of water and I can just do a little tiny touch like this over the top, and theoretically it should help lift some of that off. I just made it worse. Way to go, Tipsy. So the pink of the napkin is now on the canvas. So I discovered a new interesting issue. Hey, you know what? That's all right. We're just gonna, I have another saying, it's coming in quite handy at this moment. It says there are no mistakes, only possibilities. So we're just gonna make that work for us somehow. And I'm just gonna paint a doodad off of that. So I'm gonna go ahead and do a little, I'm gonna paint around it. Just a fun little abstract shape here. See, how fun is that? Problem solved. And then other things you can do with your brush that's really fun too, you can use the end here and you can dip into a color. Like I'm going to go ahead and use this red, and I'm going to make little fun dots. So this is another fun way to create some pattern in your design. You can do this with any color. So really cool. All right, so there we go. And then I'm going to show you how to do some of these different elements here too. With like, I'm going to take one of these little cute papers that comes with your kit, and I'm going to start to tear it a little bit. And one of the things that I learned after doing these for a while is I think it's easier just to go ahead and glue onto the surface area here, get good coverage, and then go ahead and place your paper right here on the top, and then just do small circular motions to adhere that. And then I'm going to do the same thing over here just to create a little bit of symmetry. So we'll put that one right there in the corner. There's a little bit of give to it to allow you to shift it a bit before it just completely becomes adhered to the surface area. So we've got some fun stuff happening there. And then let's go ahead and work with some of these elements here. So I've worked on this a little bit in the past, but I want to build in this. You can tear it for a fun look, or you can cut it out. So sometimes I think it's actually kind of fun to have a torn look. So I'm going to add a little bit more glue. And I want to make sure I've got enough coverage. So we've been wanting more of the lake life lately with the boat. So that's going to represent that. And let's see. Well, usually these are really easy. When you're filming yourself, though, it feels like this is taking forever. And you're probably feeling the same thing, like, oh my gosh, it's taking forever. There we go. So I want to be awesome. Okay, so there's that. And I'm going to do some different things here that I want to accomplish. So, like if I want to get into more gardening for peacefulness, well-being, so I want to keep on painting. I feel like I want to get more into fashion. It's a little big in the space, but I'm going to cut off some of this so that it's not flopping around so much. Okay. So I'm liking this little look here. So that'll be fun. Yeah, good on that. All right, so this is going to represent leadership, speaking in front of a lot of people. That's something that I definitely do. And then I'm going to be looking fabulous when I do it. And of course, this just represents me painting my career. Been actually enjoying gardening a little bit more. And I definitely want to do something that has to do with making more money. So, oh, there we go. Ooh, I like a lot of these right here. So, like all these, I'm loving. I've got the painter and I've got money. But you can see, I don't know if you saw it, but there was actually like a hunter. I'm not really into that, so I didn't use that one. But just shows you how diverse it is. There's a lot of different elements for lots of different goals. But I like these. And there's something for writing, music, pottery. And I would say when you're doing this at home personally, I would say actually doing some specific goals, like with the money, actually putting a dollar figure amount for how much you want to earn. That's very powerful. And I have more guided instructions on that too. But one of the things I will say with the money aspect is that it is important to actually, once you determine all your goals, actually take the time to add all of that up in the course of a year and actually figure out what your goals are going to cost you. And then that can be your goal amount. But it takes a lot more time than you realize to actually figure all that out. But it's worth it. It's very powerful when you figure it out. And, you know, if the big annual number is a little bit too much, I also encourage you to break it down into dividing it by 12, and then that could be your monthly amount. All right, so I've got little areas up in here. And I want to make sure that I've got glue kind of all over some paint. And oh, I wanted one. I really wanted a family one too. All right, so I've got family. See, again, some of these I will just rip out. I will do it at once. That's fine. This is fun too. It's like you're open to receiving the money. I like that visual. That's nice. And I also want to make sure that I've got some good health in here. Oh, I like this doggy. So I like this dog. And I like the computer, since I do a lot of my work on the computer. I like the idea of working from home to create income. And I still need to find some, oh, I got it. So I like this little yoga girl. And I like the running girl. I like the weights. I like a lot of those. And wouldn't get her early. Need to get her now. Let's see. So like if you're starting a family, you might want something like that, where you've got a kiddo on the way. See, there's just lots of cool stuff in here. All right. Ooh, I like this. Stay healthy. It's nice saying it. It's nice. All right, so we've got lots of different options for how that can look. And oh, out of control. Okay, so I said I really liked this one. And so I'm going to put that here. And I know that just smeared the paint, but that's okay, because I'm going to put a design on it right over the top. But I don't want that going into the next spot, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. Little doggy. And you can actually start too with just the elements and then paint around that too. That's actually what we did in the last class. I'm trying it two different ways to see which way I like it the best. I almost think I like putting the elements on first and then painting around it, because then you're not worrying about wet paint. And then I'm going to do that. We've had a few incidents now with wet paint. It can be a little challenging. All right, so I've got healthy living and money, and you can do this, and we've got a lot. Oh, I need my family on there, so I'm going to do that right in through here. Whoops, wrong direction. Okay. Now we've got some washi tape on here too. So this is also some fun texture that you can work into your design as well. It's just kind of fun with the collage process. All right, so some other little fun things. Let me grab my little buddy brush now. I'm gonna fold this back the other direction. There's some glue on there, and I don't want to get that on my brush. All right, so now I've got all the elements on there that I want for right now. So I'm going to go ahead and work back into the paint. And I can do a little bit of overpaint to help integrate that more into the design. And then the other thing that I try to do too is I try to do just little fun abstractions onto the sheet to help integrate it. So I'm going to go ahead and do, let's go back this way. I'll do a little bit of white and with the red here. And I'm going to go ahead and do like a little crosshatch here. So that's just kind of a fun abstraction. And then I'm going to mix up some turquoise too. So that would be some of this white and the green and the blue, equal parts there, turquoise. And let's go ahead and do one of those around the shape here. Again, just kind of a crosshatch. Kind of helps bring a little bit of a focal point to it. And then I've got my little boat down here. So I'm going to do a little bit of a wave, kind of a fun little shape. And then you can start to do some of those little shapes into your design too, like a little wave. That's kind of got that little Matisse element. So again, very fun and free. Just have fun with it, be playful with it. And you can do some fun leafy designs here too, get more here to play with. So the green, the blue, and the white. And twirl the brush out. And I'm going to do some fun little, like little leafy designs in there too. Just trying to give you some fun little ideas. Just kind of do a little soft press and lift off with a light hand here. So we have our little leaves. So I'll work back into this. Little swirls. And now I'm just making almost like little tiny leaves kind of here and there. And again, that little motion is just parentheses, parentheses. So it's going to start to get a little bit crazy because most vision boards are. There's just a lot of busyness to them. I worked back in her little head because we kind of lost it. That one little shape. But again, they're supposed to just be very creative, loose, fun. I'm going to do a little bit more white. And I'm going to accentuate the little paint here too. Put some color on the brushes, color on the palette. Make that a little bit more fun there. You could also make your money green. That's a fun little thing to do. Just a little touch and then a little bit of water to it so that the paint is very translucent and the line art still shows through. That's another technique you can do with this. Just like that. But add a little bit of water to your paint. So again, it is nice and translucent. So like with this gold color, we'll tap, tap, tap. I'm going to make this more of like a gold lab. Work that in. Add a little bit of color to your elements here. That's another fun little option. And then you can add little circles in here. Just to be creative. So I'm using my little buddy brush and got it loaded up with paint. And I'm just going to press down, spin it out to one side. That pressure fans the bristles out and then spin it out to the other side. All right, so there's my little circle. And these are really fun. You can sprinkle these around too. So we'll add a few more. All right. So fun, fun. And you can certainly just keep working on this for a really long period of time, just kind of build on it. I also encourage you to maybe even get like a little notebook to gradually add all of your little elements to and build on with that. And then it's really fun. What we do in our family, and I'm going to go ahead and switch camera views now. Hello. What we do in our family is we will actually I'll keep these, and right now I'm keeping them for my kids. So we have them in files, and then every year we don't look at them for a whole year. And then we come back, and it's always, sometimes it's pretty hilarious. What we we thought was the big goal for that particular year. And especially as your kids get older, if they're in relationships, it's really fun. What we do too is we go back over the last like 5 years, and whoever their person was at that time, who was just their, you know, their end all, like all happiness, had to do with that person making it or not in their life. And then they usually have a pretty funny ha ha about, oh wow, yeah, I'm so glad I'm not with that person anymore, or something like that. So it's kind of funny. But yeah, so you can have fun with this. It's a great tool to manifest your goals and your dreams. I love it. It's very effective, very successful. So again, a little recap on the colorful vision. Again, this is the one I created yesterday. And so you can see how different they can be. And then of course, this is the one that I just created today. So yay, awesome. All right, so if y'all have any questions, let me know. I'll be leaving links below for the digital version for all the tools and everything and the questions. It's a great project for New Year, so I highly recommend it. But yeah, let me know, and I wish y'all the best 2023. And then as this video gets older, whatever year is after that, I wish you this next year, I wish you the very best year ever. I hope your future is beautiful and bright. And we love y'all, and we'll see you soon. Toodles.